So things turned a lot better on this island than I was anticipating. So we actually managed to fit everything that was possibly, I guess, possible at this point onto the island, which, you know what? It transformed the island better than I thought. So we did get some actual farming on this island, as well as a bunch of industry that we needed for a lot of these workers to thrive, which is very nice, as well as we adjusted some of the trade routes that were designated to this island. So I did talk about that eventually on one of the episodes. We are going to take care of a lot of the defenses on a lot of these islands just because, quite honestly, we're not into a major threat as of right now. So things seem to be going very well. You know what, to start off this episode, I'm probably going to see if I can get into a better diplomacy, I guess, reputation with the Queen of Pirates. So actually, you know what? I'm gonna offer her a
Because
gift.
everyone knows pirates like doubloons.
All right, so we went up by 2, which is very nice. Okay, so now we're at 58, so it's actually higher than most of the AI is pretty much 2. So we're getting close to, you know what? Maybe we could potentially get into a diplomacy with her. So you know what? I think this episode we are going to take care of Pingport Fair Village. So I think this is going to be the island that we are going to try to see if we can do something with. So by the looks of it, from previous episodes, we did get
How do?
framework knitters, so the work clothes, as well as we have obviously the sheep farm that you can't be building work clothes if you don't have a sheep farm. We also have the lumberjack hut, and we are making some timber wood here, which is very nice. Timber, or is it? Yes, so timber. So we are making timber, which is nice to see. The only thing is we don't have bricks, so we're gonna have to get our own supply of bricks eventually to this island from the main island, which is very good. So considering those guys are producing way too much, so eventually this is gonna be one of the most important islands. We do have some things here, some mines that are important. We do have the iron deposit, by the looks of it, a zinc and limestone. So obviously this is very significant for this area. So let's go ahead and see what we're going to be able to do. So we do have 170 workforce and 470 farmers. So the happiness, the content is, I mean, it's medium. So we could definitely do a lot better over here.
Life is so-so.
So the only thing again is we don't have is the schnapp. So you know what? If we manage to get another distillery from this island as well as the potato farm over here, we could potentially send that over, I think, without an issue. So let me see if we have any available boats. We do have one. So the real question is, I don't think there's any more that is available. Actually, there's 2. Okay, so there's actually 2. So the other thing too is from I think one of the shorter videos. So some of the people that followed the channels, did mention probably in the new world, I should buy some of these animals and then basically hold them so that once I do have the time, then I can send them over. So we do have swordfish, which will increase the attractiveness to 30, and there's citadel. So I guess it's basically like pretty much reindeers.
We assist however we
So
may.
I'm going to purchase this. So let's go to items. I'm going to take these 2. Let's trade that. So this
Aye.
is going to be a great asset, considering it's basically 50 points. That is going to be added to the attractiveness of this entire area. So we only have 1 animal so far to the zoo. So we could definitely add more. So I'm more interested into the museum, obviously. All right, so what's going on here? So these guys are missing oil. So why are these guys missing oil? Okay, so we're actually low. So now we're running into massive problems here. So we're actually not producing enough oil from this entire region. The real question is why is this happening? So I think the time is coming that we are going to have to start getting oil from the New World being sent over to the main island here. So it looks like we're having trouble to keep up. So we actually don't have any trains being launched. So I don't know if that's because we just don't have enough oil or what is going on. Why are these guys not producing? Okay, so eventually this is going to cause some issues, so we have to take care of that. So let's go ahead and start doing some work on this island. I think the first thing that I'm going to do is probably move this lumber hut, probably somewhere that we're not going to need space. So I think over here it's pretty good. There we go. Okay, so now we can kind of use this area for something else. So I'm going to move see this guy over here. And we can add this guy on that side. And we can add another sheep farm if we need to, but I want to expand into this area a little bit. Let's do that. And take away this road and this road. So I don't know how much more expansion that I'm going to want, but I think we can just upgrade into workers.
You reached a new milestone.
Not going to push it in terms of how many villagers and colonists that we're going to need in this whole entire region. Okay, so I don't want to go overboard because we are going to need a lot of farmers. So now at this point, these
Got a
guys
lovely bit of stuff coming in.
are going to need the same thing, which is going to be sausages and soap and bread. So I guess the challenge this episode is to see if we're going to be able to fit all of this into this one region. So to start it off, I think we're going to work on the sausages, considering that is going to require the most in terms of the pig farm. So let's take a look and see in what directions we can go into. So let's do something like this. There we go. Okay, and then we can add maybe a farm. So in terms of workers, I think they're going to need more. So let's go to the production tab. And let's see if they're in demand. There's no... Okay, weird. So they're going to need more workload. So at least one more factory. That means one more sheep farm. So let's add 2 of those. This is going to work nicely in our favor, hopefully. Okay. Built that guy by mistake. Now we just have to get the leftover of this. Actually, you know what? I want to see, to maximize this whole area, we have more space than I think we do. So, destroy this guy. Now we can move. There we go. Now we can move him. And we can continue extending. Awesome. Okay, so we can add some space here. We can add some trees if we want. Now we can add another one of these factories. Perfect. Let's extend the road. I think I'm going to go to the right. Nice. Now, we just have to get pig farm. So I think, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to be doing it in this area. You know what? Maybe let's just build a pig farm here. Because we're probably not going to need any more of those factories for the workers. Change the direction of this. That way I can see all the workers making their clothes. I'm going to need another of these factories because we're going to be building soap. Okay, so now they have enough. So now we can get the rendering works. Build that here. And now the soap factory. There we go. So now we just have to build, I think it was the sausage factory as well. So where is this? Here. You know what? We can put this closer. So let's do something like this. And I think we can get the rest of it afterwards. So now the problem is I think this whole area is going to get kind of overloaded. So I think it's a good idea that I start splitting this up. There we go. Now we can just get a road across. I'm going to change the direction of this. That way I can see what's going on. Nice. And I'm going to add another warehouse. That way, this whole region doesn't get overloaded. You know what? We can also fix this road, even though it's minor. Okay, so now I know that we're going to need steel beams. So 4, 4, and just bricks. So we send 50 of one and 10 of the other. We should be able to build everything that we need. Okay, so this guy... Did we not? Where is this other boat? Let me go to the boats. Okay, so this guy is still on its way. Okay, kind of surprised. Oh, that's right. So we're on the slower side of things.
Aye.
So at least this guy is available to us. I'm going to build another schooner because I know for sure we're going to need it. Wow, so the electricity managed to get this
We
far into
assist
the
however we
region.
may.
I'm kind of surprised. So do these guys have oil? All right, so they do have
Ceasefire
oil
has
now.
ended.
So I think things were just... Train guys were sleeping. Oh, actually, no, they are out of it. So we're going to have to start
Aye.
sending oil to this region. Okay, so we need at least 50. And we're going to need 10 steel beams. So now we can send that over here. That'll take some time. And then we'll be able to build all of this. So I think the other thing that I'm going to do is probably build a wheat farm over here. So let's do something like this. And then we can add a road going like that. There we go. So now I think this warehouse should be able to reach this. Yes, so that is perfect. Okay, so they should have enough. And now the real question is, I think I might do another warehouse here. That way, be able to take care of most of the industry for the bread and the flour making and everything that they're going to need for that. So let's now see if we have enough space. Okay, so they
People
indeed had enough
celebrate your
space.
leadership.
So now I'm going to add this warehouse. Don't think we're going to need a second one. Second wheat farm. There we go. So the only thing that they don't have, of course, is the fire station. Okay, now I can get the flour mill. I'm gonna put the bakery over here. Perfect. Got a road like that. Got a road around here. There we go. So another island with most of the industry filled out, which is very nice to see. So once this boat reaches the area, we'll be able to build everything that we're going to need. All right, so attractiveness did increase. Obviously, curious capital, so it is our capital. Now that we have some extra animals, we can add these guys here. So let's go to animals. All right, so we only have swans. Going to add these swordfish, so this is interesting to see what's going to happen with these guys. All right, so there's actually orcas. There's great white sharks. That's actually incredible. As well as dolphins by the look of it, seahorses, and lionfish. There's green turtles. I think the manta ray we saw in the New World. So I think it's pretty much just going to be another pool. So let's see, where are these guys?
My eyes feel
So the swordfish, you can actually see there's a couple swordfish here, so they pretty much look like almost like dinosaurs. That's interesting that they managed to get swordfish in this caged area, but you can see it's more of a tropical zone here with some palm trees and a small little island. So I mean, I guess there is a couple here, which is fascinating to see that they managed to fit them all here. And on this side, you can actually see the deer. So I might be wrong that it's maybe a different type of deer, but I'm just going to say it's deer at this point. So you can actually see the amount that they managed to fit in this one spot. So I'm kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting to know how these guys put these animals away if they just leave them in their cages. Kind of pretty funny, actually. But the amount of sheer people that we have coming into the museum, so you have more people going into the museum than you actually do going to the zoo. So I wonder why that is, but maybe they go into both zones, I'm not sure. But everyone likes the museum a lot more, so it looks like we got 2 awards already. So there are some people, I guess, they go into the museum and then they go into the zoo afterwards, which is very cool to see. We have people at the newsstand, so it's good that they're getting their news. Maybe once we start filling up this area, they'll start coming, which is nice. So the real question is, this boat has arrived. I'm going to send this guy. These guys are waiting, so we are going to have to build another pier here. So let me see what is going to be required of us to build the extra pier harbor. So we need 40 windows and 40 steel.
Ready for assignment.
Okay, so 40 windows and 40 steel. Here we come. We do have 2 boats on the side here. Put these guys out on the shoreline. Okay, so we definitely are going to need more trading here. So at least now we have the bricks that is required. Soap factory. And the special house. That way they're able to get the pig fat and so on. That we got the bakery. So all of this should balance out and take care of itself. So what I'm going to do is, considering we still have quite a bit of space for expansion, I'm going to leave that for the industry just in case. So these guys do have the red pepper fertility, so just in case, I am going to leave that. The good thing is that they also have grain fertility and potato fertility, so if we need to, we can build a schnapps facility. The real question is, do I want it to build it on this island so that we're able to send it out over here, which I guess depending on what I might do, I think it might be a good idea because we do have an available boat. So let's go and get another schnapps facility started. You can never have too much schnapp. Everyone loves their schnapp. Okay, so let's extend this. I don't think we're gonna need too much. Okay, one more distillery. At this point, I'm just gonna start building the distilleries here. So eventually, I'm gonna have to kind of space this out.
The people celebrate your leadership.
So let's go something like this. We can go like that. Okay, that way it can kind of equal out a little bit, balance out. Okay, that's what I was assuming, that I was going to get overwhelmed a little bit. So now we can get another boat. So same thing. Let's get a trade route. Let's go to create a route, trade routes. Now we just have to find a boat that's available. Okay, so this guy, cargo slot, I think it's this. Okay, he's not doing anything. So you go to here. You're going to load. Where is the schnapps? Bingo. We don't need that many, so 15 should be a good enough. We need to adjust it, we'll do that. 15, there we go. So now those guys are going to start. So let me double check to see if these guys are receiving their schnapps. Let's see, happiness. So it is some of it, which is good to see. They have their church and everything that they need. The beer is the only problem. We're so close to getting to the school. Okay, so this guy is definitely going to need to be upgraded. So let me see, 20 bricks. Okay, do we have anything
assist
extra?
however we
Okay,
may.
no, that's fur. That's selling. This guy's also doing something. This guy is not doing anything. This guy is on his way. Good to know. I'm going to take the time now and start putting the bricks, paved streets, or paving town center. That way we can start increasing the happiness. I think we're also going to start adding the decorations and the ornaments. Okay, and that is it. Okay, so now the next step is the trees. No trees, actually. Get some fountains in this area. What about this memorial statue? I think we can add this in the front. So I want to make sure this is in the correct spot. Boom and boom. There we go. You know what? I'm not going to add no quays, but what I am going to add so that these guys get their news is 2 of these. There we go. We can actually add some quays, some other areas. I'm a big fan of the fountains. Just going to start adding these guys pretty much anywhere that we can absolutely fit them. And park benches, as many park benches. Okay, so we have another spot over there. Lots of places for these people to sit and chat is always good. Add some benches here. So I did see some challenges online that people were able to do entire, I guess not the campaign, but skirmishes or so on with the AI and other players, basically with one small island, which is kind of incredible. So eventually we have to do something like that because it's always funny to see how people are able to do that. Okay, so now let's add some more park benches around and pavement. I think the trees are going to be left out to more of the outskirts of the town, because I think if we start adding some trees in the middle of the town, it might kind of block things up. Or what's the word that I'm looking for? Not overwhelm. Just going to make it too much, I think is what I'm looking for here. So this is not looking too bad. We're still left with a lot of space. I can get maybe a couple towns or a couple homes here if I want. A couple more homes here. But we are going to need a warehouse.
Have reached a trade agreement.
So we can do a warehouse somewhere here in the corner when we need to. And this area is also going to need a warehouse, which they have this. So we can connect to the road, potentially going that way at some point. So once the day does come for the limestone, when we need more, as well as the zinc deposit, we have the space for all of that. These guys seem to be good. Okay, so I'm going to double check. Okay, so I think we needed to double check kind of quickly here what we need. All right, so 40 windows and 40 steel.
Stations.
So let's get 40 steel and 40 windows. You guys are stacked on windows. Now we can send that over. So now I think potentially that could have been one of the issues here that we were having with the coffee and also the rum, was that they weren't able to trade in between the boats because this whole area was kind of being stacked. Okay, so the other good thing is they do have a lot of fish, so they don't need any more of that. But let me see, do these guys have enough schnapps? So they do have enough, so it's not bad. I gotta make sure they're getting... Okay, so they are getting their coffee. The only thing that they need is their spectacles. So rum as well. Let me make sure. Let's see. Happiness. Schnapps is coming along. Okay, just in case, I want to see the expense of one of these. How much does
Nice
this
day
cost?
for it.
20 and 50, so this costs nothing.
I love
So
the smell.
just for an insurance premium here, I'm going to add one more to these farms. That way I can guarantee that we are not going to have any hiccups along the way. I'm going to add some trees here. Grab this guy. There we go. And can I fit them anywhere else? Add some trees like that. I'm not going to use this space for anything else pretty much. And I'll destroy it if we need to. There we go. Very nice. So, you know what? Do we have any lower lying trees? Some smaller trees. Okay, I think that's fine in the meantime. Okay, so that boat is eventually going to come. We have enough schnapps that's being sold around here. These guys have enough, pretty much everything. So our bricks, oh, that's what we should have got. Do we have an available boat
Schooner
doing nothing?
reporting.
We do. One more schnapps. Okay, do we have actually more people as well? So 1,840 or 84, so it's not as high as we've had it before. But it looks like an extra 300 people are going to be coming eventually.
Ready for assignment.
Okay, so I want as many bricks as possible, so let's take that. These guys are producing so many bricks. Gotta make sure I leave the industry
Adjust the
to
sail.
have enough room to kind of do things. Okay, this guy is the right boat that we're looking for. Guy is blasting through the ocean.
I'd never have put a halfpenny on
Okay,
it.
so Schnapps is indeed coming in this area. So also same thing, these guys are very close to
Celebrate your leadership.
the school. Right now I'm excited. We're gonna have a pier here. Going to increase the trading in this whole
Aye.
region. Gonna leave this guy here just for the meantime. Let's go to building. Go to the medium
Competitors
harbor.
have agreed an alliance.
Okay, so now the real question is, where am I going to place this? Most
How about a cup
optimal
of coffee? You've been
spot.
playing for 2 hours.
Let's do something like this. That way. Ooh, we're actually missing 50
New
bricks.
orders.
Okay, so well, it's good that I called in that extra 50 bricks. Because that boat is also coming
Stations.
somewhere. It's on its way. Now we can finish off the city. All right, or the little town. So is there anything else that I want to do? You have to leave some extra room. I'm gonna add as many homes as I possibly can. Okay, and then warehouse right in the corner. Perfect. Do something like that. There we go. Okay, and I think that's like the maximum that we're gonna get. Go to our parks. Let's see, do we have some different... Okay, I mean, it looks like an okay park. Okay, more fountains. Fountains and more fountains. Go back to our park benches. 1 and 2. And now we're just going to pave the rest of the way. There we go. Okay, so I think this guy is here. We're very close. Where is he?
My
Nope,
roots.
it's all just trading. Okay, so I think I'm going to upgrade a little bit more. Okay, just in case, I think that's max. That way, I think we're going to need the rest of the farmers eventually at some point. So we're going to give it some time. That way it can balance out. So I think this area is looking pretty much complete at this point. You know what? I also want to connect this road. Just in case. There we go. And then we have some space to do something else if we need to expand it a little bit more. I think we can get another branch of homes here along. And then I think that should complete this area pretty much. Oh, you know what? Add a few more homes just along. Can add a parks over here. Here we go. Nice. And then I think that's what we're just going to leave it as. Very nice.
We assist however we may.
All right. Time to get this pier built. Guys need the space for sure.
Coordinates plotted.
Build here. Amazing. Okay, so I'm going to send this over back to the
Take the
main
rudder.
capital. That boat is probably on its way, doing its thing. All right, so now these guys have more than enough room to trade. Our income is doing very nicely. So let me see. These guys don't have rum, but they have a lot of cotton fabric. So, real question is, things finally balanced out. Okay, so let's take a look. So let's see if we need anything. So you guys are going to need at least one more fish farm, so we can kind of do with that, but let's add one more just in case. In terms of the wool and work clothes, these guys are fine. These guys are fine with pigs, so that means sausages and everything else is good. We need another wheat farm. That makes sense. Okay, so that means we are going to need another tallow, so we're going to need for rendering works. That means we're going to need at least one more pig farm, so now that we know, add another, do something like this. And I'm going to remove this road. There we go. So where is my wheat farm? I think this is going to be basically max, reaching kind of a limit here. So this is going to be very close. Okay, so I'm going to leave the space there just in case if we need it. Okay, so like I said, we're not going to be using this area for anything else. Okay, so I'm going to stagger this just a bit. So that's all we're going to need. Now, I think we needed more pig farms. So let's use the space that we have here. And I'm going to bring this right to the border. We're going to try to maximize everything. So we're going to need at least one of these guys. Do something like this and this. Now the real question is, we don't have room, so we're gonna have to destroy farm. And we're just gonna do the opposite. There we go. Okay, so this space is maxed out. So I think we needed one more of the rendering works. Put this guy like that. Okay, so I think he's kind of being held up. I'm gonna add a road. There we go. I don't think we're going to need anything else at this point. Beautiful. So I think we're pretty much maxed. So let's pave the rest of the roads that we can with the 50 bricks. So I'm kind of surprised. This area turned out very nicely. We managed to fit in, again, another island to the max. Now, the only thing that we're going to have to worry about is pretty much upgrading these guys into engineers and so on. That way we're able to increase the rest of the income. The good thing from this is just from taking care of each island and the trade networks, I don't know how much we were making per credits or so on per minute, but we managed to get to 7,300. So that is magnificent in my books. So I think I'm going to add that over here. But you know what? Just so that the boats don't get in the way. Just in case if it might be a problem. There we go. So the harbor is looking much, much better. Very nice. Add a road here just in case we want to start adding things around. Can I add a road? You know what? Just for the added effect. Very nice. All right, so the last thing that we have to do pretty much for this whole region is start adding more defenses. We do have some room around here when we do need the extra iron as well as the zinc for whatever we're going to be using that for in limestone. So once we need more construction materials, this island is very close to the new world once we need it. So it's a good trading post. So we're going to have to start adding defenses. But with that, I hope that if you guys managed to get this far into the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and join the community if you guys are enjoying these next episodes of me just going from island to island and fixing the maximum efficiency that I guess you possibly can over time, of course. So this is the first stepping stones. Don't forget, make sure you guys comment on the video, leave your own remarks about what I'm doing here, maybe add some of your own comments of what you want me to do and so on, or maybe things that I'm doing wrong or I could do better. And as well as obviously if you enjoyed the video to like it. So don't forget to stay positive, stay de-stressed, stay creative as always. I'll catch you guys in the next video and I'll see you then.